Hey everybody, Pastor Frank coming to you live via a recorded message. It is Tuesday afternoon, and like this past Sunday in worship, I am still cold. And so I'm grateful for Tony, who fired up some hot apple cider for our staff team today. I'm on my second cup, and it's helping me to warm up a little bit. But I wanted to stop by today and kind of piggyback on my last video message, which I know that you all watched and took notes on. But anyway, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But February 2nd is coming up really quickly. That's our Commitment Sunday, where we will be making our commitments and how we're going to support the church with our gifts for this coming, well, it's not coming anymore. We're already here in 2025. In the past, we've done these kind of campaigns in the fall of the year, and they've only been limited to financial giving. And we wanted to broaden that impact out to emphasize all the gifts that we are given, not just our financial gifts, and they are certainly important, but also our spiritual gifts, also the places where we serve in ministry in the church. And so I've sent now a couple of times, and they've been in the Behold as well, links to a spiritual gifts inventory where you can answer about 80 statements that are related to the 20 spiritual gifts that are outlined in the New Testament. And so it'll say like, I have a strong faith, or other people tell me that I have a strong faith. Well, that one is obviously related to the gift of faith. Anyway, you answer that thing on a scale of 1 to 7. And then at the end, if you take the online one, the computer, the internet calculates it for you. If you don't do online stuff and you need a hard copy, we've got those. We actually have them in English and Spanish here at the church, and these will be available Sunday morning. You can take this home. You can score it. It has definitions of the gifts. And then you need to remember your spiritual gifts for February 2nd. Allison also created a ministry inventory, a survey where you can go through, and it's not an exhaustive list of ministries here at the church, but it's a lot of them. And you can go through and you can choose. I'd like to serve as an usher. I'd like to serve communion. I'd like to read scripture once a quarter. You can do that. And the reason why we're doing this is it helps us in terms of deploying lay people in ministry. So if we know your spiritual gifts, we can align ministry opportunities for you and encourage you to serve in places where you're gifted. That way you won't burn out. But we can't do that unless y'all give us that data. So if you haven't done so, please fill out the gifts inventory and the ministry survey that came out last week. I'm going to link to it again in this email, and it'll be there for you. On Sunday, in our worship bulletins, we're going to have this card, and this is our commitment card for 2025. The no returns needed is the theme. And see here, name, email, your spiritual gifts. You're going to write those down there. And then, have you taken the engagement survey? Yes or no? And then your anticipated giving for 2025. We know that can change. Sometimes throughout the year, we have extra money that we can give. Sometimes throughout the year, we're not able to give as much as we thought. That's okay. It's called an estimate card for that reason. Now, let me say this too. I don't see this. So this will come into Chanel, and Deb Tucker will see that as our church treasurer and our staff accountant. I won't see the financial gifts. I will see the spiritual gifts, and I will see the inventory, the engagement survey results. I will see those things so I can help align you, but I will not see the financial giving. And then we'll ask things like, this is your first year to complete an estimate card, and this is an increase of your financial giving from last year. And those two things are just so that we have an idea of how people are stepping up in their faith. They're kind of stepping out. They're pledging for the first time. Studies have shown for 1 billion years that if you write out your card and you sign your name on it, there's a place to sign your name, you're much more likely to fulfill that commitment. That's all that is. So these will come out this week. We'll have hard copies in the bulletins this coming Sunday, and then you will bring them to worship on the 2nd, completed, and turn it in as an act of worship. And then following worship that day, we're having our chili cook-off, which is a fundraiser for our youth summer mission trip. So that's always a really fun time to be together. So in conclusion, I kind of touched on this in the sermon on Sunday, but if you missed that, or if you were taking notes, or you were doing your spiritual gifts inventory during the sermon, which is okay, I talked about the why of what we do. And the why of what we do in the church is our mission, our purpose, why we exist. And in the United Methodist Church, that is to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. That is why we support the church with our prayers, presence, gifts, service, and witness. But today, I want you to think about your why for this congregation. I mean, there are so many great United Methodist churches. I'm not going to tell you what they are. There are so many great churches around here or we could easily drive to, and yet y'all worship here, and there's a reason for that. And I'd like for you to think about that, consider that as an act of devotion this week. So ask yourself these questions. Why am I here at Spring Valley United Methodist Church? What brought me here? Why have I stayed? What keeps me coming here? Is it my Sunday school class? Is it my ministry opportunities? Is it the worship experience? What is it that keeps me here at Spring Valley? And why is this place important to me? When we're able to answer those kind of questions, then filling out a commitment card like this is easy, because we understand why we're here and what we are about here. So as we prepare for February 2nd to come, as we start thinking about how we're going to serve, how we're going to give during 2025, focus on your why this week. Why am I here at Spring Valley? What brought me here? Why do I stay? What keeps me here? And why is this place important to me? A lot of those questions I would have to answer as the bishop asked me to come here. And yet, I love being here. I love our community. I love what we stand for. I love our way of doing things. I'm so filled with gratitude when I come into the building every day. And so thank you for allowing me to be your pastor and to do things like what we do. It just fills me with joy. So thank you for that privilege. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for the congregation. I invite you to join with me in that prayer as we prepare for February 2nd and make our plans for a great year of ministry in 2025. That's it for now. Stay warm, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.